Good evening, everyone. I am Ads from Unity Trading Group. Welcome to your Friday night update. This will be the last update that we do, or the last formal update that we do on video for the week. Obviously, we're going to be in the Discord, active as always. You can always find us in there, ask questions, and reach us if you need to. Like always, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It helps us out a great deal. And of course, share the video around if you like what you see here. If you find this content helpful, then share it to as many people as you think will benefit from it. But without further ado, BTC USD. It's been an interesting week with BTC, to be honest, and we have been rejected off this level of supply, and we did come down and break this ascending wedge channel, or this upper trend line now. So what I'm seeing right here. We did have a movement to the upside, which didn't really last too long, to be honest. But the thing that I want to really look at the moment is going to be the daily and the weekly. So the daily still hanging around this very overbought area. Most notably, Steamroller is still quite overbought and looking like we need some further retracement to really cool some of these indicators off, most notably Steamroller and the RSI. We're still sitting on that 70 upper band on the RSI, and of course Steamroller is quite overbought as well. The real thing I want to look at is the weekly. So the weekly, if I just get rid of some of these things here. So the weekly, this does not look fantastic to me. I'll keep that plain and simple, and I'll keep it as honest as I possibly can. It doesn't look great. Off this level of supply, and of course this level of resistance that runs across this area, which is 13.8, doesn't look fantastic. If we close in 2 days, underneath this 13.2, under this top fibs area here, all right, then it's going to be very interesting. And what I'll actually do is I'll draw in the relevant level of fibs. I'll do it on the daily time frame. I'll do it from the current swing low to the current swing high, and I'll put it back on the weekly to give us a decent area to look at. Okay, so I've drawn that in. Go back to the weekly. So right now we're sitting in between that 0 Fibonacci, which is 13.8 or 13.880, and the 23.6. And what we're observing here is a little bit of indecision on which way the market is going to go, but most notably this large wick that's forming on the weekly time frame against this level of supply at 13,800. This isn't fantastic for BTC, because I was going to say most notably again, but I reckon I've overused that word this evening. But most notably, the Steamroller indicator is quite overbought on the weekly as well. And we don't tend to get quite violent swings to the upside. 2017 aside, we don't really get quite decent or high levels of overbought areas and oversold areas on the Steamroller indicator on the weekly. So it is going to be interesting to see if we get a little bit more volume into this market over the next little bit. And I've got a driver update, thank you very much. But it's going to be very interesting to see if we get a little bit of volume increase over the weekend and towards the start of next week to really push us back up to 13.8 and beyond. But if we're looking on the 4 hour and the daily time frame, it's seemingly looking like we are starting to form, some sort of downtrend, you could say. Not really though, because there's no lower lows just yet. But we are looking in that direction in the way of we made a high and now we're making a lower high. And we haven't made that lower low just yet. So if we come over, down towards this level of demand again over the course of, this evening and across the weekend, if we see some 12.8 or 13,000, price action below that 13,000 area, it's going to be interesting for BTC because we will start to create those lower lows. And of course, if we do tumble and start to head towards that 12.4, 12.2 area, it'll be good for BTC in the long term because it is, quite oversold still. quite overbought still, excuse me, and it does need a decent retrace. We can probably all agree with that. But not much else is happening with BTC over the course of last night from our live and tonight, of course, on this update. We are looking in the same direction. I am looking for that 12,800 very, very short-term level of demand to be tested again. And we will see if we get that come to fruition, excuse me, over the course of the weekend and the start of next week. But moving on, having a look at ETH USD, keeping this nice, short and sharp for this Friday night update. We did move towards and through that level of demand now that we saw at 382.95. And it doesn't paint a great picture for ETH, to be honest with you. We are heading quite confidently now towards this 372.29 area for Ethereum. And, looking at some of these indicators, we are getting towards that lower market cycle now, especially looking at something like Steamroller. We are gearing or drawing ever closer towards that level of oversold. But some of the other indicators like RSI still has a lot of room that we can move to the downside, and as does the CCI. So I'd be looking towards this 372, for Friday night, Saturday and Sunday. And if we are moving towards this level, we are creating lower lows and lower highs. So it does look like that's going to be on the cards for the next little bit for Ethereum. Not much to say besides that. Until we start to move to the upside, break some of these levels now, and create new structure, then that's the direction that I'm looking towards. Last but definitely not least is the DXY. So this is a regulated market. These are just ideas and opinions of Team UTG. We did move through that level of supply. So supply and demand works very, very, the rules are quite easy to follow. If we move through a level, then we're looking towards the upside, taking note of obviously our indicators and the strength of the market to facilitate that move to the upside. But we do need to look for some movements to the upside, and we do need to look for a little bit of structure to the upside now. I'm looking towards this area here, to be honest. Roughly around here, we've got some candle body closes. We've got some pauses in the market here, but most notably here or around there, we've got that retest to the right hand side. So that really gives us a nice picture of what we can really expect for a further move to the upside for the DXY, which is 94.20. Nice and easy to remember. But before this can happen, more than likely we will see some retracement or even a little bit of a pullback to calm these indicators down before we get some more volume and some more momentum to facilitate the move to the 94.2. So looking at Steamroller, we are quite overbought right now on the 4-hour time frame, as we are on the CCI and on the RSI. We are forming a little bit of bearish divergence on this time frame on the CCI that you could probably see now, where we've got some upside momentum from here to here, and then some downside momentum on the CCI. So a pullback is going to be on the cards for me. This 61, this 93.53 area would be, most notably the area that I would look for in terms of fibs. We know it's been respected once before. There is quite a decent amount of liquidity to the left-hand side. If I just draw that line in there, we can see that there is levels of resistance and support along this line. So that would be the most notable area to look for a pullback. And I think you might get it over the course of this evening and the opening of the market over the course of next week. But in the whole macro trend and the whole scale of things, this area 94.20 is probably the level I'd be looking towards, after a pullback has occurred and we, get some more momentum into this market. So coming back, give us a little bit of a pullback for a movement to the upside, very similar to what I've drawn there. So looking forward to that over the course of this evening. Look, everyone that has watched our videos this week, thank you so much. Everyone that has subscribed, thank you so much. Like the videos, guys. Anyone that has liked and has joined the Discord, welcome to the Madhouse, and we'll see you over the course of next week for all of our live sessions and daily updates. In between that, we'll see you in the Discord. We'll still be as active as ever and available for any questions you guys might have. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday night. Bye for now.